Afternoon everybody, Silverbolt here, back for a new review channel, and with me today is...
Kalelprime, aka David, and for this first double-sided review we are going to be looking at Transformers Classics Optimus Prime.
Onto the articulation of this toy, and here we have it as it comes packaged in truck mode. Well, in truck mode the articulation is this. The wheels move. Well, what do you expect? It's a truck. One quick transformation later, and we're back for the articulation in the robot mode. Okay, start with the legs, move our way up. The feet here, the ankle joints will move up and down, allowing for truly dynamic heroic poses. Knees move backwards, and don't actually move forwards, which is good. Right, up to the waistal area, and the groin segments will move out, and they will also move up, and they'll move back. So it really looks like he's about to kick someone in the arse. Okay, next up, there is, because of the transformation, there is actually articulation at the waist, allowing you to turn it, which is quite a clever touch for those suitably heroic action poses that the classics can be easily put into. In fact, if you look at most stock photos, they are in suitably heroic poses. Up to the arms, the shoulder joints can move, the arms can move in and out, and also they can do a complete 360. The elbows can do pretty much a 180 all the way around. The only thing that's really stopping them is the bits of plastic here, and well, that's really about it, unless you want to try and... You can do a 360 with the elbows if you put the arms to the side, and then you can just completely do that. That's on both arms. The wrists don't move at all. It is very solid. Even the wrists can't be turned in a circle. And the head itself, well, it looks left, and it looks right. And I just know that some smart guy in this video is going to watch that. Did he actually turn it to the left, or did he turn it to the right? And it can look down, because of the virtue of its transformation, but it can't look up. Okay, that's it on articulation.
So on to the aesthetics of the toy, how the toy actually looks. His primary colour scheme, red, blue, with touches of grey and yellow. All in all, he is a very close homage to the original G1 Prime. Some really nice detailing on the waist and on these side shoulder panels, and the actual windscreen here is actually composed of see-through plastic, so you can actually see through it. You can see seats in there, and even the hint of a little steering wheel. Nice attention to detail. You can see really nice detailing on the leg panels here, as well as also these panels here, which is really, really cool. Couple of issues that I have with him in robot mode, however, are this. First of all, his light piping just does not work. His helmet is too dark. The black plastic, it just doesn't work. As I say, it's far, far too dark. Also, the only Autobot symbol on his actual robot mode is this heat activated one here. A nice homage to the G1 heat rub signs, but there's no other Autobot logo on him at all. Ultra Magnus, a repaint of this figure, has Autobot symbols here and here, and it would have been nice to include that one on this particular toy, because as we all remember, the original G1 Optimus Prime had his Autobot symbol on his shoulder, and it would have just fitted the character nicely. In truck mode, his articulation follows through on the same designs. Again, blue and red are the primary colours, and grey and silver along the sides. Again, no real inclusion of an Autobot logo, except for that one. As I say, it's the only one on the toy, which again does drag it down a little bit. These side panellings actually feed into the bumper, but the problem is the bumper itself is kind of devoid of any real detailing, making it not the best thing in the world. It does look big and imposing, and it is a nice size, but it doesn't feel like there's much going on for it, apart from obviously the things which I pointed out in robot mode. Again, we can see through these windows here and things like that. The other big problem that I have with it is that the smokestacks on the back are flat. Because they form the gun, they don't come off as being, you know, rounded and as nice as they possibly should be. But, however, despite the fact that I think it is the weakest of the two modes, it is still a very nice truck mode, very nicely homaged to the old G1 toy, but slightly updated to give it a more modern feel. And what is really nice about it as well, it hides the robot detailing phenomenally. The only thing that you can see is the feet. That is all. Nothing on the underside, nothing anywhere else. Really nice for hiding the robot.
Okay, Optimus Prime the Classics Edition comes with 2 accessories. The first off is his smokestacks, which for speed's sake, I've partially transformed, as in pulling out the inside bits here. And basically what you do is you pull out the inside bits there, you close it together, and you've got a very suitably heroic leader, big barrel double cannon blaster thing, which sits quite snugly in his hand. The other thing is the top part of the truck, which is obviously moulded for wind shear. Again, partially transformed it just to get this bit out just for speed, and you simply just snap it down, snap it up, and there you have it. There is actually a proper terminology for this gun, but I believe it was written on the packaging, but I can't remember what it was called, and that fits in the other hand. I personally, I'm not the hugest fan of it. I think the shape just sets it off. Never mind the fact that it'd be so barrel heavy that it'd be virtually only a robot could possibly hold it, but that's not the point. Personally, I think it would have worked better if it had been turned into a shield. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need a melee weapon, but then I imagine you have more than a few people say, well, it's just a reference to the Skyboom shield. But there we go. But those are the 2 accessories: the smokestacks becoming a blaster, and the wind shear thing that becomes something else.
Now, for time's sake, we're not going to go into the details of this. I'm just going to quickly run through the transformation.
Okay, my final thoughts on this toy. I really like it. I think there's so much just going for this toy, from its vibrancy to the fact that it is so blatantly a close G1, well, it's a 21st century version of G1 Prime. The uber funky gun, never mind that one. The articulation really does it justice. Its all right out bulkiness just speaks to the strength of Prime, and it's a very, very nice toy, and it's definitely in the top 3 Prime toys that I own. The other 2 would be Masterpiece Prime and Cybertron Prime. Well worth the money, even though for some reason it's starting to become a bit expensive now. It's still well worth getting if you haven't got it already. It shouldn't even be that hard to find, because it was obviously one of the biggest released ones. Well worth it. Score out of 5 would be 4 out of 5. It loses 1 for this. Other than that, but in saying that, even this, you can just transform it and put it on his back. He doesn't really need to carry it.
My final thoughts on the toy. Amazing. Articulation is fantastic. Transformation is fun and enjoyable. In truck mode, despite the fact that he lacks a little bit of detailing, he looks impressive and imposing. You know, all in all, just a really, really great toy. Overall, out of 5, despite all the flaws that I've got with him, I've still got to give him 5 out of 5. Because of the options that they give you. Don't like this gun? Think it looks a bit jerky? It can go on his back. Problem solved. You don't have to worry about it. You know, this gun, while not resembling that of Optimus Prime's original G1 gun, it works alright, I suppose. He's got great detailing on his face, you know, just absolutely fantastic. Is this a definite purchase? Of course it is. Even if you can't get this one. There has been a Henke version released, an Ultra Magnus repaint. Not only that as well, but there has been a Nemesis Prime released, which is also fantastic. And the other thing is as well is, if you're into spending a fair amount of money on your Transformers, there is a trailer coming out for this guy. The Masterpiece Battle Roller works with this guy. And as I say, if you've got the Ultra Magnus or the Nemesis Prime, or even this one, the City Commander or Shadow Commander set will work fine with them. It is really, really good. It gives you tons of options, whether you're a casual fan or a hardcore Transformers collector. Pick this guy up, 5 out of 5. This is David, aka Kalelprime, saying Peace.
This is Silverbolt signing off, saying au revoir, adios, auf Wiedersehen.